If you've spent any time with Kubernetes, you've probably hit that classic wall. How in the world do you get traffic from the outside internet into your running applications? It seems like it should be simple, right? But the standard ways can feel, well, a little clumsy, or they can get really expensive fast. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a much smarter way, Kubernetes Ingress.
Hey everyone, and welcome to DevOps Corner. Before we dive in, if you get some value out of this explainer, do me a quick favor and hit that like button and subscribe. It honestly helps the channel a ton and lets me know I'm making the kind of content you want to see.
So here's the game plan. First, we're going to talk about the problem that Ingress was built to solve. Then we'll get into what Ingress actually is, your cluster's smart router. We'll break down its two most important parts, the controller and the resource. Then we'll get hands-on and write some rules. After that, we'll lock it all down with some TLS security. And finally, we'll take a quick look at what's next for Kubernetes networking.
All right, let's start at the beginning, the core challenge. You've done the hard work. You've got your application running in pods, and it's all neatly wrapped up in a Kubernetes service. But it's just sitting there inside the cluster. So how do your users, on the actual internet, get to it?
Well, right out of the box, you've basically got two options. There's NodePort, which works, I guess. It punches a hole on a high-numbered port on every single one of your nodes. But it's clunky for users and a real pain for you to manage. On the other hand, you've got the LoadBalancer service. This is way cleaner. It automatically spins up a proper cloud load balancer for each service. The catch? Your cloud bill will not thank you, especially when you have dozens of microservices. Each one gets its own expensive load balancer.
So, you're stuck between clunky and costly. And this is precisely where Ingress comes in. Think of it as the elegant solution, a much smarter and more centralized way to handle all that incoming traffic.
I mean, just imagine for a second. What if you could manage all of your routing rules, sending traffic to different apps based on the domain name or the URL path, all from one central place using one simple configuration file right inside Kubernetes?
Well, that's exactly what Ingress is. It's a native Kubernetes object that acts like a smart traffic cop for your cluster. It's a layer 7 router, which is a fancy way of saying it understands web traffic. This lets it do really cool things like look at the domain name or the URL path and route the request to the right place, all while handling tricky stuff like SSL termination for you.
Now, to really get Ingress, you have to understand that it's not just one thing. It's actually a system with two critical parts that have to work together. And honestly, this is the concept that trips up most people when they're starting out.
Okay, so first up, you have the Ingress controller. The best way to think about this is as the engine. It's a real piece of software, like a powerful NGINX or traffic proxy, that you actually have to deploy and run inside your cluster. Its only job is to watch for rules and then make them happen. Then you have the Ingress resource. This is the rulebook. It's the YAML file you write that tells the engine, the controller, exactly how to route the traffic.
And this brings us to the single biggest mistake you can make. You can write the most beautiful Ingress resource YAML in the world, but if you don't have an Ingress controller running in your cluster, it does absolutely nothing. You need the engine to read the rules. Always remember that.
All right, now that we know about the two parts, let's get to the fun stuff, writing the actual rulebook to tell our traffic where to go. Ingress gives you some really powerful routing strategies. You can do the simple thing and just send all traffic to one application. Or you can get fancy with a fan-out, where different URL paths like /API and /app go to different services. And you can also do virtual hosting, where different domain names like app.example.com and api.example.com get routed to totally different places, even though they share the same IP address.
Let's start with the fan-out. This is an absolute game changer for microservices. You can have one public entry point, one IP address, and you can route requests for your API to the API service, requests for your front end to the web app service, and so on, all based on the path in the URL.
Okay, let's look at the YAML for a fan-out. See, under spec, we have rules. We're defining a rule for the host foo.bar.com, but the magic is in the path section. We're saying, hey, if a request comes in for /foo, send it over to service 1. And right below that, if a request comes in for /bar, send that to a completely different place, service 2. That's path-based routing right there. So simple, but so powerful.
Okay, next up is name-based virtual hosting. So if fan-out was about one domain and many paths, this flips the script. This is all about handling multiple domain names on the same IP address. It's perfect if you want to host, say, your company website and your blog on the same cluster.
Now, check out this YAML. Notice how the rules section has two completely separate entries. The first rule is for the host foo.bar.com, and it sends all of its traffic to service 1. But the second rule is for a totally different host, bar.foo.com, and it sends all its traffic to service 2. Your DNS for both domains points to the same IP, but the Ingress controller is smart enough to read the host name from the request and send it to the right place. Pretty cool, huh?
So routing traffic is awesome, but you know what's not awesome? Plain, unencrypted HTTP traffic. In the modern world, we need HTTPS, and luckily, Ingress makes handling TLS security super simple.
You might think this is going to be complicated, but it's really just a two-step dance. First, you take your TLS certificate and your private key and you bundle them into a standard Kubernetes secret. The only trick is you have to name the files inside the secret tls.crt and tls.key. Step 2, you just point to that secret from your Ingress file. That's it. The controller does all the heavy lifting.
And here's what that looks like in the YAML. See that new TLS block right at the top of the spec? It's beautiful. You just tell it which host the certificate is for, in our case, https://example.foo.com, and then you give it the secret name where we stored our certificate. And boom, your Ingress controller is now terminating TLS and your users see that friendly little lock icon.
Now, before we wrap up, there's a really important piece of info you need about where Ingress stands today. You know the Kubernetes world moves fast and things are always evolving.
So when you see the word frozen, don't panic. It doesn't mean Ingress is dead or going away. It's stable, it's secure, and it is absolutely fine to use in production. What it does mean is that it's not getting any major new features. All the new, exciting development for Kubernetes networking is now happening in a newer, more powerful API called the Gateway API.
All right, let's do a super quick recap. 1. Ingress saves you from the pain and cost of NodePort and LoadBalancer services. 2. It's a two-part system. You need the controller engine and the resource rulebook. 3. It gives you awesome, flexible routing based on paths or host names. 4. It makes adding HTTPS and TLS security incredibly easy. And 5. It's stable and great, but keep an eye on the Gateway API, because that's the future.
So the real question is, now that you've seen how much control and simplicity Ingress can bring to the table, are you ready to start using it to manage your own Kubernetes traffic?
And that's a wrap on our explainer of Kubernetes Ingress. Thank you so much for watching. If this helped clear things up for you, please hit that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe to DevOps Corner for a lot more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one.